Hey everybody, it's Wisp, and I wanted to share these memories from a wonderful time where I got this great opportunity to go to Italy in the year of 2019. A lot of things happened on that trip. Every day I felt both incredibly busy and surrounded by people and these crazy things to do. There was a lot going on, but also it was relaxing. Even on my busiest day, I was just having a good time. We had a heat wave with like record heat in Italy at the time, and I wasn't from there, but I'm actually like from somewhere super hot anyway, so it really isn't. It's kind of evens out. They don't have AC, but we made it work. Like it wasn't even in the struggles. We were just having a good time. But there were other times where I literally fell down a hill and crashed into like four chairs and got like a gigantic marking on my leg that lasted for my entire month long trip. But today, what I wanted to talk about specifically is a time that I went for a little walk and found myself lost on a highway. So I woke up, and first thing I noticed, I was feeling a little unwell. So I just wanted to walk it off a bit. I mean, I like taking walks anyway, so felt like it would be a good idea. And I walked out of my room, and some of my housemates were there. They were about to go to an early lunch at this Italian restaurant called Ravioli Wang. It really good. If you ever go and there's a Ravioli Wang wherever you're visiting, highly recommend it. So they invite me, and again, I wasn't feeling that great, so I told them I wanted to just walk a bit, and one of them gave me this oil. It was like I believe it was like a calming essential oil or something, and she told me to just pour some on my hand and rub it on my feet, basically. So I did that before I went on a walk, and I don't know, I think it worked. I mean, I felt pretty relaxed. I'm just going down. Street signs are a bit different, so I don't know what I'm really doing. There's a lot of green mixed with a lot of road, so I'm just walking, and again, I'm new here. So I find like this large mall where an airport was. Like it was a mall with an airport on the bottom floor of it. It was a mall with a train station on the bottom floor of it that takes you to multiple places, like with airports and stuff. But also just trains, so I mean you can get a lot of places with them. But I go past the mall and I just keep walking and there's nothing around me. And I notice that like it's empty. And there weren't any speed signs. People were going fast, like really fast moving cars. I had no idea where I was. So here I am, just meandering down this hallway, and I cannot get anyone's attention because my phone doesn't have service in the middle of nowhere. So I just keep going until I see a taxi. And when taxis are going, they're either going to pick people up or to drop people off. So either way, people will be somewhere. So I follow this taxi. And then I get a message on WhatsApp because WhatsApp doesn't need service for text messaging or anything. And one of my friends has now invited me to her house for a spaghetti lunch. And this is the second lunch invite that I am potentially not going to make it to. That's not happening. It is a Saturday. I want someone to treat me to lunch because I like free food. So I accept. And rather than raise any flags, I just say, I'm out right now. I might be a little late. Now the problem is, I could only communicate with people who I had on WhatsApp. I could not text or call anyone who could help me. But again, I figure I'm getting close to civilization. I'll find a taxi. It is going to be fine. When I arrive at a McDonald's, and the taxi is still there, he hasn't left yet. So I go right up to him and I'm like, hello, sir. Do you have anyone? He's like, no one's on queue right now. And I'm like, great. Can you give me a ride? No. No. No, he will not. Actually, you can't just walk up to a taxi. I thought you could, because all I've ever seen are TV shows where you just, and then a taxi comes and you're good. But no, you actually have to call a certain number, and I agree to this because I'm at McDonald's now. So I just go into McDonald's expecting my service to be done because I paid a lot of money for roaming data that like gives me access to data out of the country. But no, no calls can be made, even when I'm at McDonald's. I thought I was just stuck on the freeway and I lost data, but no, it's everywhere. So now I'm lost and I'm hungry and I'm at McDonald's, but I'm like, someone said free food. I'm gonna get free pasta. It's in Italy, like it feels decent. Hopefully those friends don't watch this because I'm pretty sure that I didn't tell them that I was actually at a restaurant and I just decided I wanted the free food instead. Don't think I confessed to that part yet, so that's nice. So yeah, definitely not telling them about this video, but whatever. Start going to my friend's house. It's easy enough. I walked here on this highway. I can just turn around and walk backwards. So I get right out, start walking, and I'm like, wait a second, how long did it take me to get here? Because I feel like it would be important to know, right? Like, so that I can plan and maybe warn my friend and whatever, and my phone dies. I managed to notice the time. It took me about 2 hours to get there, which isn't too bad. So I just keep walking, and I realized I left McDonald's without getting water. So now I'm continuing to just walk on the freeway, thirsty as heck. Late to this lunch, by the way. I'm starting to get nervous that there will not be lunch when I get back. And again, people do not care about pedestrians. They are going quickly. I mean, I admit that you don't know how to handle a pedestrian on the side of like a freeway. But in my defense, it's like that in the city streets there too. At least where I was staying, the driving was wild. Nobody cared at all. So I'm going down. Nobody cares, by the way. Just keep going. Finally, I get back to town. Now, all I have to do is find my friend's house, and I know that she's near the middle of the town. It's a really small town, so the middle is only like a 10-minute walk. So I go there, and I'm like looking everywhere where there are a lot of cars. My group of friends came from abroad. We did not have cars. So this entire time that I am searching for these popular venues based on how many cars are there. So finally I realized that I find a house with no cars and the doors are locked. But I've been to my friend's house before and I know exactly what her house looks like. So, remembering I was invited, and I know there are still a lot of people there because I can hear the voices of many familiar friends partying and whatever, hanging out. I did what any rational person would do, and I simply crawled through my friend's window and went to the kitchen, filled a bowl with her leftover spaghetti, and just started eating. My friend, having just watched me crawl through her window and again go straight to her food, says, "Hey Cole, slow down. You're gonna get a stomachache if you eat that fast." I'm going there. I'm eating fast, just getting bowl after bowl. I was only walking for like 4 hours, and it was like barely past to lunchtime. But my brain was just being really dramatic, I guess. I mean, I downed like several cups of water. I just kept going back, I'm like, what do you mean? I'm pacing myself, going slow. I think I was near fried. I had so much spaghetti in that day. I might have actually, in that one sitting, eaten as much spaghetti as I had eaten the entire month that I was there in Italy. It was good, too. It was really cold, and the noodles were starting to get a little bit hard because they were cooked for a group of people several hours ago. But they tasted fine. So, it was a success. I made it to the party. The group of people, again, everyone that was there accepted me. Despite having just come back from several hours in the sun and stealing all of the remainder of food. Great group of people. Very forgiving group of people. Not a single person questioned my decision to crawl through the window. I promise you, normally I just knock on locked doors. But I was invited in already, and they knew I was coming, so I feel like maybe it's not the worst thing I've done. Okay.